The Steelers' playoff woes continue. Mike Tomlin's playoff woes continue. Our dead carcasses are still at the 50-yard line of M&T Bank Stadium. We went to Baltimore and we lost 28-14. Don't let that score fool you. It was way worse than that. So the floor is y'all. Y'all deserve it. It's y'all time to shine. How did the beatdown feel?
We're gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna go first today.
Okay.
First and foremost, we're just gonna take a moment of silence for you, brother.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
And then
run that again. Play that back.
No, we got something else, brother. As we all here gathered.
Shit, it's music. Oh fuck. All right.
Yo, what's wrong with you, yo?
We all here gathered on one accord. We know Brother Sco, a faithful man, a good man, a working man, a family man.
Yes. Yes.
But
amen,
today,
amen.
we lay him and his Pittsburgh Steelers in their 2024 season to rest. And so, Sco, we just wanted to thank you for being a great host this season. We know you're
you kicking me off
the rest of the playoffs, but he's a good man. He's a Bethel man.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, brother.
Yo, what?
Yo, did this nigga just kick me off the show, yo?
Not the Tomlin in the middle. That's crazy.
Yo, kicked me off. Yo said they don't need me no more. Am I Otis? Did this nigga just Otis me?
I'm clean, Blue.
Damn. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
I don't know. God damn, Sco. 21-0.
Yeah,
Six
so let's
straight
talk
time.
about it.
6 straight time. And Keys, that Cleveland Brown score was 28-0 at half.
Damn.
6 straight time.
49-0 in division wild card.
6 straight time.
Let me see my eyes go.
Only time we scored was TJ against the Chiefs. We went in the half 35-7 that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It feels good, you know. It feels good to beat y'all. Let me put that straight. In the grand scheme, the big picture things, you know, we got a game on Sunday, so and we'll get to that. But it feels great. It feels good. If Lamar ain't get the monkey off his back in the second game this year, it's definitely going now. When you beat a team in the playoffs like that, that's pretty much what it is. The Raiders pretty much did what they wanted to do in every aspect of the game. It really wasn't. I think coming and we talked about this too, Skull, but it was I didn't really understand we can't be nobody else if we can beat y'all. I didn't understand that mantra. I mean, I understand. I get it. I'm not gonna say. I understand why y'all was saying it. I couldn't understand it. It couldn't go through my head that it was going to be true. Because what made you think that y'all was going to beat us? Because y'all know us. I mean, teams change, and we talked about us in the chat. Y'all the ones that changed. Y'all the ones that decided to crash down on the running back. I don't know what was going on. So y'all decided to say, well, we're going to let the 2-time MVP beat us. And that's exactly what happened. Once you start running, it was a wrap. And we talked about this before the postseason started. We want him to take you out back in them Florida backyard, the Florida fields, and just run crazy with you and just beat on you, and you can't catch her. And that's pretty much what happened. And that's what he needs to do for the rest of the playoffs. Just be Lamar. Just be yourself. Nick said it perfectly a couple shows ago. We don't need you to. We don't care if you. We know you can throw. We don't need you to go out there and throw for 300 yards. We need you to go out there and win the game. And if running for that amount of yards and controlling the game, completely control the game, change the pace at the line, getting him in the right place, getting him right protection. He seemed like he was chilling. Lamar never seemed flustered Saturday night. Never seemed flustered not one time. Usually you see him coming off the field, throwing his helmet against Shaw, upset against Shaw. It wasn't the case this time. It was good to see. It was good to see Harbaugh stayed out his way. We kill him. He is warranted, but he coached a good game on Saturday, a really good game on Saturday. Give credit where credit due. Man, shout out to the offensive line. We came into this season with that being one of our Nitty Gritty, one of our weak points anyway, of saying like this offensive line need to get better. Into the beginning of the year, they were not blocking for Lamar. We were saying Lamar going to keep running around with his head cut off. He's going to get hurt. And over the course of the season, I'm gonna come back to the point. I think we don't we took for granted losing our offensive line coach. What was that going to do? We didn't talk about it a lot. Him passing away before the season. What was it going to do to that group? It's a new voice in the room. But back to the line itself, man. They played well. They played their ass off. You can't say enough about the way Rosengarten has progressed in his rookie year. To the point yesterday where he's completely shut TJ Watt out. Dominated him. He didn't even get close to Lamar. And if he did close to Lamar was already gone. So you can't say. I think that we talked about it. You want all three phases just to be playing well. You want all three phases just to be clicking at the same time. You want to be able to feed off each other unit. And we've always said the Ravens don't turn the ball over. If it's straight up, we didn't turn the ball over. If it's straight up man on man, hat on hat, we don't turn the ball over. Y'all, we're gonna beat y'all. Like that's what happened. Like y'all are good and get y'all turnovers. Stopping people in the red zone. If teams don't do that against y'all will lose a lot more games than y'all do. Y'all just was fortunate. And good scheme. I'm not gonna take that away from you over the years. Good scheme, defensive players. But now that defense is old. It's a lot of holes. I read a stat. We know you like your stats, Skull. Like y'all last playoff win, like 20 out of 22 players were players that y'all drafted. Now it's like 13 out of 22. So y'all I think that's the problem here. Y'all roster is not. Y'all can't compete with other teams when it comes to talent level. Y'all don't have that level of talent. So that's why when people say get rid of Tomlin, I get it. He's struggling.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Go ahead.
You're not gonna do that today.
You're not gonna do that today. Yeah, no, I'm gonna get it.
We're not gonna do that today.
In the grand scheme of things, absolutely.
No, we not doing.
Oh no, I'm not giving him bail because I think he should be going too. I'm not giving him bail, but what I'm saying is over the years, up until this point, up until Saturday night, I was willing to give him bail. Up until Saturday night, I was willing to give him bail. But then when you come out with that game plan, you came out trying to do things offensively that you couldn't do. Like you're not a throwing team. Y'all tried to, but it was never going to work. Player development, you can see that something is going on there that is not right. But like I said, I'll let you get into that when you break down. But Ravens got to stay focused, man. This is what you need to do. You needed to beat a bad team, not a good team. This is what you're supposed to do to bad teams. You're supposed to beat them. You're supposed to run for 300 yards. You're not supposed to give them any signs of life, any signs of hope. Like you said in the opening score, 21-7. 20. It was never a game. It was never. They're gonna come back. They're gonna do this. No, it was the Ravens let up off the gas a little bit in the second half or whatever because they knew that it was over. Once you start seeing them pulling two guards at the same time, you realize that they done. They're not there. So they players run into each other. So I don't know, and I'm interested to see what your breakdown is about what y'all game plan was and why y'all changed it that way. But no, like I said, the Ravens need to get ready for Sunday. It's great. It's a great win. To get like I said, that monkey was off back. It's off back. Now you just gotta look forward to Buffalo, man. You did what you had to do, and like I said, I'll get in more to the Steelers when you break down. But I'm excited for Lamar. That's the main takeaway. I'm tired of the narratives. You can't do this. Now you got to go. It's a bigger challenge. It's a bigger Dragon Slate Sunday. You did what you're supposed to do against the Steelers. They weren't good. They haven't been good. Like I said earlier, the 10-3 was a mirage. You did what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to be doing. Supposed to be doing for the last couple of seasons to them. You just didn't have Derrick Henry, and now that you got Derrick Henry, you really not. It's really no stopping Lamar. Especially with that, with that defense, with that game plan y'all had. But no, my takeaway is get ready for Buffalo, man. Good win, got out of there healthy. Hopefully Zay, when we talk about this game later, hopefully Zay can be, practice so we can get ready. But that's the main takeaway: a dominating win. Get out there healthy.
Yeah, man. That was a good old fashioned beatdown, and that's just saying it lightly. I definitely expected Pittsburgh to come out a little bit more aggressive on offense. I think they tried to come out and change it up a little bit, throwing a little bit more on first down. The problem was uh, even them being creative seemed scripted. It was unimaginative. The flea flicker that they tried, it was slow. Russell Wilson looked robotic. He didn't look comfortable, and it just seemed like you know they were shell shocked to start the game, and that's not something I expected to see happen in a playoff game, and then also against a division opponent as well. I'm thinking we know each other. We're gonna at least come out here and make our presence felt. As far as our physicality, and you guys from Jump Street we're not a physical football team, and surprisingly. You kind of suspected it on offense, but surprisingly, that lack of physicality was seen on defense too. I mentioned last show that I thought Derrick Henry being able to start drives with good gains, positive gains, and getting us into short yardage situations would have been a plus. And he exceeded my expectations in that regard. A lot of times he was getting huge chunks on first down. And even on the couple rare times that he didn't get a hefty yards a carry on first down, he would follow it up with a play on second down. So he kept us in on schedule, and that was something that was imperative for us for our offense to be efficient. You look at the box score. I mean, Lamar Jackson, he didn't throw but so many times. Threw around 21 times. But it was the efficiency in which the offense moved, the third down conversions, seeing us being able to execute consistently, whether it's between the hashes or in the red zone. That play to Rashad Bateman, that was a wonderful route, wonderful read by Lamar, and those are the things you need to do because converting and getting touchdowns as opposed to field goals is what put pressure on teams. If we would have had some of those drives end in field goals. It's a different game, different look, different feel, and it gives the Steelers a different mindset going into halftime. But you get to the end of the second quarter, and they're asking Mike Tomlin like, "What can you do in the second half different to contain the run?" And he's like, "Man, shit, that's just Lamar, man. What you want me to say?" And when a coach says that, you rip their soul out already. It was nothing that he could have said or did in that locker room at halftime that would have inspired them to have anything change. Now, they did come out there and play a little bit for their pride in the third quarter, but we also eased up as well. We were dominating, and Derrick Henry, again, back to him, the sheer force in which he ran, the aggression. I mean, we looked like a team possessed, and we looked like a team that wanted to avenge years past, and we look like a team that's angry that they hadn't won a Super Bowl yet, and a team that's hungry. And Derrick Henry hasn't even been with us, and he's feeling our pain, but he's feeling the pain because he had to try to win Super Bowls for Ryan Tannehill. Now it's his first shot with, arguably a top 10 quarterback as we speak of all time. And that's, with him adding on, he got 10, 15 more seasons in him. So we're going to definitely see the best of the Baltimore Ravens going forward, just because you have people motivated, you have people hungry. You see how Isaiah Likely looked. Again, back to the passing game. It really wasn't a high volume look, but we use different personnel. That's something that I did like, especially with Zay Flowers being hurt. Todd Monken adjusted to the personnel available. We ran a season high 69% of our plays in the 2 tight end sets. So we made sure to get we talked about in the offseason and in training camp, can we get Likely and Andrews involved at the same time? And the answer to that is, yeah, if Zay is not around, and that's fine. It gives us security and added relief to know that this offense can move just as efficiently, just as productively, just as explosively as without Zay as with it. And that's good because, you don't have to rush him back. Obviously, if he's available and he can be productive this week, come on down. We need you. But, if he needs a little bit more time, we have the confidence that Todd is not only going to dial it up, but the players going to execute as well. I think the key, going forward is just to continue with that run game, something that we have not done in the past, but something you have no excuse to do so in the future, just because you have a Hall of Famer back there. Like he's a one of one type of dude. You never seen a guy that big, that strong, that fast, and doing it for this long. So again, a shout out to everybody on the offensive line. Roger Rosengarten being able to take on that challenge with TJ Watt, basically neutralize your pass rush for the most part. Again, you guys weren't able to play aggressive or physical. I saw Minka get mushed into the ground. Cam Sutton mushed into the ground. I mean, they were talking about, they were playing basketball with his head. Like it was starting to get skull, like how the memes have been bad. Like, man, listen, I don't even know how you guys go into the off season, because all the goodwill that you that accrued from the 10-3, you had me up here having to give it up, and I didn't truly believe it, but I'm like, I gotta give Sko and his team some respect. I ain't believe I've been said y'all was ass, but y'all weren't playing to that level of ass. So I was like, let me give them the respect. But the ass showed up. Hey, the ass showed up. Okay, you know what I mean. But a lot of things, big things moving forward. I mean, it's not done. It's just wild card weekend. I try to measure my excitement, but that's the team I want to see in the playoffs. Oh yeah. And before I pass it to Keith, Lamar Jackson, I got to talk about Lamar. And I didn't even get to the defense. The defense was outstanding as well. Darius Washington, the pass rush, how we played in coverage against George Pickens, neutralizing him as much as possible. And being able to stop the run as well. Great job defense. But as far as Lamar Jackson, again, doing what's necessary by any means. I love to see it. You could see it in his eyes that even on key third downs where he could have just handed the ball off, on those read keeps, he said, no, this is going to live and die with me. And I'm gonna get this yardage. And that's what you want to see, running 15 times. Again, we saved up all year for this. All year we've been passing the ball, showing that we're a passer. And now we're going to do both. And then we're going to mix in the RPO with Derrick Henry. Then we're going to mix in new wrinkles that we haven't shown all season with Derrick Henry in the Wildcat, Lamar at wideout, using motion, and then confusing defenses that way. And that's the scary part. Now we're adding the wrinkles that you would like to see. And we're getting creative with it. And again, it's hard enough to stop Lamar Jackson. It's hard enough to start Derrick Henry. Now you've combined both of them, and now you're using deception and manipulation and motion and things to that nature. Good luck. If we continue to execute, continue to not beat ourselves, good luck.
Yeah. I'm gonna just talk real quickly, Sko, because I know you're trying to go, but I'm gonna talk about
y'all heard that. Take your time. Take your time. Yeah,
but I'm gonna just take you through a couple drives. 13 plays, 95 yards, 7 minutes and 13 seconds. Puts the Ravens up 7-0. 13 plays, 85 yards, 7-minute, 56-second drive, puts us up 14-0. 9 plays, 90 yards, a minute and 51 seconds, puts us up 21-0. So that's 35 plays. Sko, y'all only ran 45 plays that game. That's 17 minutes of possession time and 3 drives. Pittsburgh only possessed the ball for 20 minutes and 27 seconds. You guys only gained 280 yards for the whole game. That's 270 yards in those 3 drives. So just utter annihilation by the Ravens, utter domination. And it was from the first whistle. You thinking when Sims muffs the ball on a punt on the first drive, here we go again. You get kind of backed up from the end zone, Ronnie Stanley hold. Here we go again. But for whatever reason, the Ravens prevailed on Saturday. They stuck to it. They stuck to what they do best. And, to run the ball 13 times on a Pittsburgh defense, that's unheard of. A lot of teams not doing that. To outrush Pittsburgh 299-29, come on now. That's normally Pittsburgh doing that to other people. It's bully ball. But that's essentially what happened Saturday night. Just domination. Lamar, shout out to Likely. We talked about him Friday and how he would have to step up in Zay's absence. He had some big catches, some big yak. And so you're just seeing different. We talk about it from the beginning of the season. You just want to see this offense continue to evolve, mature as the year progresses. And that's what you're seeing. You just saw another element of it last Saturday and what they could do. Just sort of kind of how you can open Pandora's box when you got a quarterback like 8 back there. And when he decides to just put his mouthpiece in and take off and run, it's going to be hard to beat him. It's going to be hard to beat him. I mean, he had T.J. Watt looking like a crash course dummy on Saturday. Kept tackling Justice Hill, tackling Derrick Henry, and Lamar 5, 6, 7 yards up the field. So just a good win by us.
Myles Garrett would never.
Myles Garrett got a playoff win. But don't do that, Sco. The way you don't do that.
Why? Why? Fuck we talking about the Browns.
They've been dead, huh?
You see this?
But nah, this just
they welcomed me here. The fuck? Yeah, man.
If I say ain't you chilling with him?
Yeah. Nah, robbed them.
Robbed them. But it's just the beginning, though, Sco. That's how I feel. Like this, it's a good start. It's set up now to go to Buffalo and face those demons from a few years ago. And then potentially, you can face your demons against 15 at Arrowhead. So you can't overlook this game this week. We'll talk about it later on. That's a tough team up there in Buffalo. Another tough quarterback, 17 up there. So I'm looking forward to the matchup Sunday. I'm looking forward to the challenge. I'm looking forward to seeing how we answer the bell, because we know what happened in September when we faced this team. But it won't look like that in January. It's a completely different game. Game going to slow down. So it's going to be a great game. I'm looking forward to it, but good win by the Ravens on Saturday.
Congrats, guys. Let's go to commercial break. Nitty Gritty.
When I want some sports news, Nitty Gritty is definitely who I'm tuning into, man. They show up each week with that uncut, that raw, that unfiltered sports news.
They say the things that everyone else wishes that they can say, but they can't.
Every Tuesday and Saturday, I am locked into my favorite sports show, Nitty Gritty.
Nitty Gritty, the best show out right now. Tune in and listen, stupid.
Whatever this fucking curtain is, go ahead and drop it. I don't even know what that shit mean anymore. I don't even know what it mean anymore.
Come to our side, let's go.
Now, last episode I said, Keys asked me, hey, if you win the coin toss, do you take the yes? They did that. Pat Frymouth dropping that first down pass was the equivalent of Marquise Pouncey snapping the ball over Ben's head. When I saw that, I said, nah, you're not ready. You're not ready. You're not focused. You're not focused. And I was right. You proceed to go 3-and-out in a playoff game. And then you proceed. No, you didn't go 3-and-out. You got a first down, but then you end up punting the ball. Then you get the ball back after a score. It's imperative that you score. You already can see what time the Ravens were on. You can see it. Defense looked like, we're not up for the challenge today. It was going to have to be one of them games that the offenses, Nick, like to coin it, go band for band. Then you go 3-and-out. And that was 14-0. The fact that it was 4th and inches and he punted in a playoff game, I said, nah, man. This ain't winning football. It's not winning coaching.
With Justin Fields.
The Justin Fields package was what? They brought him out and then
that should be the 4th and inches package.
They brought him out, called a timeout, then took him back out. I think he actually had 2 snaps that counted, right? It's the same shit every playoff game. Going back to 2017, it's the same shit. He's making the same decisions. That 4th and inches punt was the same shit he did against Cleveland when it was 4th and 1 at the 50-yard line and he punted. It's like, yo, dog, you don't have the 2008 Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Did you watch the first 3 drives? They clearly weren't up to the task. Your offense got to make a play. You got to make a play. And I for the life of me, I can't. I can only say for so much. I feel like Friday I could have pumped them boys up pause more than Tomlin did. The message got to be dry at this point. It's not conveying. It's not conveying. It's
It
not
was
working.
not bad.
And for a dude to say we can't live in our fears, he's a scared ass nigga, man. He is. He's a scared ass nigga, man. This is the second week straight where you get Pratt Frymouth out in space on a safety, and he can't get a first down. Shouts out to Darius Washington. He's been playing good since he got in the lineup. But the last time I checked, that is not Steve Atwater out there. Run his ass over, man. The fuck are we like? What are you doing? This is do or die. I'm looking at the Eagles game and I see Dallas Goedert out there slowing down to stiff arm somebody, to make a play, And this is the second week straight where Pat can't get a first down because he's not physical enough to get the yardage over safety. That's not winning football. You talking about, Keith mentioned bully ball. Yeah, we ran the ball 8 times, and I know the score dictated that. Najee ran it 6 times. Jaylen Warren ran it twice. Nick mentioned the flea flicker. That was an NFL blitz flea flicker. I don't know what that was. And on the first play of the second drive, it was completely unnecessary. You haven't established anything for them to even respect the flea flicker. You ain't established a run for them to say, oh, shit.
It was scripted, man. It had to be.
You see what I'm saying? It had to have been in that 15 plays. Oh, we're going to run this on the second. Why? It's no element of surprise here. I know the Ravens defense was looking like, yo, what the fuck are they doing? And it materialized that way.
Tom said, we're going to get him with this one.
And it materialized that way. You got a sack, and it was a slow developing sack. Jaylen Warren getting it and turning around, it looked like it was forever in a day. No urgency. It was no urgency, man. I just, the fact when we scored, Nick, you text with the eyes. What was my response? Man, get this shit out of here. I never even said, oh shit, here we go. Here we go. We about to make it a game. Nah, go get a stop and impress me. We never got the stops. So scoring didn't mean anything. Scoring didn't mean nothing. Brandon Stevens is Brandon Stevens. Okay. Why didn't you attack him early in the motherfucking game? Whatever 21 is that should have fined 21. And that is inexcusable for George Pickens to get his first target in the second quarter with 4 minutes left. Can you say the Ravens took him away? I don't know. Darrelle Revis ain't on the other side of the ball. That's my thinking. It should 14 is our guy. You get him the ball. I don't know what the game plan was on either side of the ball. Anybody watching that game, Phil Arthur Smith, you're stuck. You're not going anywhere. Because I wouldn't hire you off of that shit.
Hey, I would cancel his interview.
I wouldn't hire him off of that shit.
He would not begin an interview with me. Fuck that.
Like, what are we talking about?
After I saw the flea flicker, I called his agents like, go in and wrap it up.
Nah.
You see
Unfortunately,
after the flight, send him a Zoom link.
Honestly, never mind.
Yeah, like this is a Drake album. Dance your way out of here. It's some bullshit, man. I can go on more offensively of how bad it was, but defensively is where it was more shocking because the second matchup, y'all inflicted y'all will in the run game, so you knew what was on the horizon. Shout out to Monken, the wrinkles that he added. That was a thing of beauty. That's how you coach. Shout out to Harbaugh for letting him do that. Like, y'all shout out, Harbaugh did what he had to do. He got the fuck out the way. Harbaugh didn't have to do anything that game. He didn't have to do anything. He ain't had to call timeout. He ain't had to challenge nothing. He had to use minimal brain capacity in that game. Just let your players do what they do. Let Zach Orr coach. Let Todd Monken coach. And look what happened. Y'all remember that point when I get to this Tomlin shit. Defensively, the first matchup, you knew he had 70 yards. You hold Derrick Henry to 70 yards, you pat yourself on the back. When you saw that first read option, you go, hey, Terrell, what do we have for that? And it was like, I don't know. When you watch us play, like TJ he was doing what the responsibility is. You watch every game. That's how he shows up in the run game. He crashes down on the running back. Him and Alex were doing the same thing. That's why it wasn't like anybody was. They both were doing the same thing. They were doing what they were coached. But why don't you have either Peyton Wilson, Landon Roberts, a linebacker, a safety, somebody that's on that side when Lamar keeps it? I told Keith, even if you're wrong, if the quarterback wants to run, you smack the shit out of him so he don't want to run, even if you're wrong.
But that's been the game plan in 8 out of the 10 matchups. That's been the game plan. I don't know why they switched. What the hell was
so Keys, when you say you didn't understand why I was like, I want to see y'all, that's why. Like, you don't beat somebody 8 out of times out of luck. After a while, it's like, oh shit, it's kind of something there. Don't know what it is, but it's something there. And for you to completely abandon that is coaching malpractice. It's coaching malpractice. Now, on the players' end, they look like they quit. They look like they quit.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of Cam, outside of TJ, Alex Highsmith, Landon Roberts, those are the only players that I saw a fight from. That whole second, Joey Porter Jr. didn't look like he quit. But Dante Jackson,
yeah, you're right. I mean, getting penalties.
That's his game. That's his game. In the offseason, I want him to clean that up a little bit. I don't want to take away from his physicality, but dog, you got to be less obvious with your physicality. It's getting flagged, but everybody else, I mean, it just looked like they were ready for the season to be over. And then after the game, Brooke Pryor reports it looked like a locker room that was relieved that it was over. You never want to hear that after a playoff game. You never want to hear that after a playoff game. Like, they quit. The effort just was not there. And you saw the Ravens' energy. They were never going to be able to beat them. They weren't ready to match it. That's on coaching, man. That's on coaching. They were not prepared. Game plan wise, on both sides of the ball, they weren't ready to compete. And that's what happens. You get your head beat in. Like, those 2 stiff arms were the totality of that, told the story of this game. Like, it was that right there. Like, that's what it was. And now this game is over, right? Now and what did I tell y'all? Look, it's gonna be people. You lose, trade TJ. It's gonna be Tomlin. Mid-game. Nick, I sent you the tweet. Mid-game. Hey, we gotta get rid of TJ. Mid-game. Shit wasn't even over yet. Hey, we gotta trade TJ. You got media saying, if I'm TJ, I would leave. His contract is over next year. There's no talks of reconstruction. You got people saying, hey, if I'm TJ, I would leave. Now, he said what he had to say today. I want to stay here. I want to fix it. Cool. He's supposed to say that. But this is what happens when you display what you displayed Saturday night. Mike Tomlin, I'm not going to come in here and say you're a bad coach. I'd be a lie. But what I will say is that message is stale. I'm not going to come in here and say you need to be fired because I really don't like wasting my breath. So, because I know you're not going to get fired. But what has to happen, and it's not just fair to put this all on Tomlin. This is Rooney. This is from the top. He don't want to change. Look, when you keep a Terrell Austin, it's because you cheat. I saw that Eagles game. Vic Fangio is a pretty penny. You got to spend, and you'll get the reward from that.
Shit, Dennis Allen on the market.
You see what? It's guys out there. You're going to have to pay, but it's guys out there that can coach good defense. The problem with us on both sides of the ball, when you see the game plan, we have a bunch of offensive coaches and defensive coaches at positions and overall that are overvalued and not qualified to coach in the NFL. That's the problem. That's the problem. Zach Orr struggled early, but you could see week by week they got better. He belongs. He belongs. Terrell Austin got fired from Cincinnati because he gave up 500 yards he gave up 1,000 yards in 2 games. And they said, Cincinnati, yo, you got to go. Us, coach out your contract. No, can't be. Arthur Smith, you were brought into Pittsburgh because you like to run the ball. You had a physical brand of football. Now, granted, you cut your bones and got your feet wet in this game because you were fortunate to have Derrick Henry. But what you display all year, when you're second behind the leading rushing team in attempts, but 28th in yards, That math don't math. That math don't math. That math is horrible. That math is horrible. You just running it to run. You running into a brick wall. Pat Meyer. The fact that I know the offensive line coach name, Pat Meyer. When I see two tackles pulling and one of them is skipping, like Broderick Jones skipped.
I
He
don't know
didn't
what the hell
even.
Broderick was doing, dog.
The communication, the communication, and they were both pulling on a counter. Somebody has to be there because that's where Jalen Warren is running. He's gone.
Broderick like me when I'm doing my
he just
cardio
went that way.
Like just getting to the other side. Like,
He just went that way, and then he's looking around. That happened all year. Like the reason that we can't run the ball is offensive line play.
Which take
Like you see a bunch of other
offense,
offensive lines around this league. Like everybody, like the Eagles got all pros. Like y'all got a couple Pro Bowlers, but yo, it's other guys teams who they have units of just solid NFL players, and they hat on the hat. You never see the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line get to the second level. You never see it. You know what I noticed watching the Ravens, watching the Bills, watching the Eagles, even the Chiefs, and all they do is false start, but they will get to that second level. That's your problem. Mike Tomlin, it is 2025. It's not 2006. Your whole time of possession, run the ball and play good defense, ain't cutting it, bro. That ain't cutting it. That's not it. Especially when you see it's not working. And that's the definition of insanity. You just keep going to it year after year after year after year. The inability to adapt to this game is why a lot of people want you fired. When I hear, hey, another team will give us a draft pick and they'll pick him up real quick, please do.
Yeah,
take him.
I would trade him to the Bears. I would try to get that.
Take him.
Get one of those first round picks.
I'm tired of that. And y'all went through that when, the Harbaugh apologists would say, well, who you going to get? Somebody else. What you mean, who? What you mean, who? We not in Whoville. You find somebody.
Got the biggest sell. Job security. Like, we ain't going to fire you.
It's the Pittsburgh Steelers at the end of the day. Now, granted, we're not, the Killer Bees, Pittsburgh. It's not that. But that logo, that name, you could go get Ben Johnson if you want it. Stability is what he's looking for. Shit, you got the most loyal owner in the world. But you can't succeed in this game if you're going to half-ass with hiring coordinators. You suck at hiring coordinators. You had Bruce Arians in the building. Got rid of him. I think that's
I'm going to cut you off, but I think that was, if you're going to keep his job, they got to take his hand out of
all of it.
He can't be drafting players. He can't be picking coordinators.
So
he's not doing them things very well the last couple of years.
So I mentioned Harbaugh and his game plan of getting the fuck out the way. See, the reason Mike Tomlin gets all the blame is because he don't get the fuck out the way, and it used to work. But now it's not. You lost your fastball. And I see people he didn't build this roster. Yes, he did.
Well, he
definitely did. He definitely did. He drafted Kenny Pickett. You the coach. When Kevin Colbert says, hey, I'm looking at the guy at Pittsburgh. No. He was all in on that because he saw him walking down the hallway. You see, like everybody else, the only guy that's gotten a second contract is TJ Watt from our draft picks in the last 10 years.
Damn.
That speaks volume, right? Nobody gets a second contract. That means you're drafting bad. And you can't
or cheap.
And you're cheap, but you can't draft bad when you want to get to the playoffs because you have a winning streak that you want to protect and cherish. And we got the 21st draft pick this year.
I was just about to ask you that.
Same thing. What, the same
fucking spot. We've been drafting 20, 21, 22 for the last 7 to 8 years.
You're not getting value there.
You're not getting
a difference maker there. Like
I think Troy Fontenot was going to work out. He was hurt this year. I think he's going to work out. So now you talking about TJ Watt and Troy Fontenot. We had TJ at 30. Yeah, TJ at 30. We drafted Terrell Edmonds at 30. Where was Lamar drafted? 31. See what I'm saying? If you going to be in them late and y'all move back up, and we not even aggressive in the draft. And when we aggressive in the draft, we trade up to get Broderick Jones.
Got a question for you, Scott.
I'm all ears.
Let's assume that in the future you guys have a nice draft and you fill out your holes and you get stronger in both sides of the trenches. Would you entertain Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams both as a package deal
For next year?
just for next year?
I know the last time I said no
because they said they're the betting favorites now.
Yeah. Yes and no, because we can't keep kicking that. He's better than what Russell Wilson.
Arthur Smith ain't gonna cut it though.
No, and that's the thing. All right, we get him, and I know if we get Aaron got enough cachet to say, yo, get him out of here, and he goes. So that's a plus. But we got to draft somebody, and I just want Aaron to be open to teaching, because if he don't teach, then we're gonna be in the same. Is it gonna be Mason backing him up again? I think that's how far back the issue goes.
Yeah, I think at his age, that's part of it.
Like like that's gotta be part of the deal. Like just be open. Just be open.
Because I was looking at pre-Achilles, post-Achilles. So this is first year post-Achilles, and his last season in Green Bay and this season in the New York Jets, obviously different win-loss totals. Yeah. Not running from that, but as far as his numbers, 2022, 3,700 pass yards this year, almost 3,900 pass yards. 64% completion percentage, 63% this year, 26-12 touchdown to interception ratio, 28-11 this year. So I say that to say, you guys were looking for another wide receiver as well.
Yeah.
Somebody that maybe can mentor George Pickens.
If he and hey, it's funny you say that, because Devontae did an interview somewhere and he said he loves his game. And that's not the first time that he said that. Whether it be Devontae, whether it be T. Higgins, you got to get somebody on the other side. Like, I get Deontay didn't want to be here, but the plan to replace him was piss poor.
T. Higgins, I don't think will come without a plan at quarterback.
Coordinator, like you said.
Yeah, and he shouldn't, but you got to do your due diligence and at least try. You see what I'm saying? Like,
my fault. I was about to say like that. I mean, granted, it definitely helped y'all. But it's
the same old shit though.
The same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I think that y'all just too old on defense. It's too holy. It's way too holy. Granted, Cam had an All-Pro year. He's an All-Pro. He's playing his ass off. He about to keep playing like this. Is gonna be a Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
already. But it's not. TJ is older. Minka is not what he used to be. Y'all have no cornerback. Joey's young. I mean, like I said, he's probably gonna be pretty good. Y'all have no linebackers.
As far as that's the problem. As far as the age thing, Cam is old. Going into this draft, D lineman was a need for in my mind anyway, because he's 35, 36. He can't keep doing that. TJ's 30. He had an off year, and he spoke to his willingness to want. Now it spoke to why you always see him on the right side. That's where I'm comfortable. So he's already noticing, to avoid all the chips and the double teams, what you're gonna get your TJ Watt. You have to be willing to move around on that defensive line. He's already noticed that. But as far as everything else, did Minka lose a step? Yeah, that secondary was a problem coming into this year. Dante Jackson being your cornerback number 2, that can't happen. That can't happen. Especially he clearly showed later in the year he wasn't ready for AFC North football. He didn't want to tackle. You got to tackle in the AFC North. No matter, no. Hey, Nate Wiggins gets dirty. He's a small guy, but he gets dirty. It's just got to be the willingness too, and he didn't have that. Why Corey Trice didn't play? I don't know why. And that's another coaching thing. Just press. He was starting the year pressing the right. Cam Sutton was bad all year. Beanie Bishop was getting better every week. Cam Sutton came back. Loyalty. You play him. He did not show nothing on tape in any game since he got back to deserve a helmet. He started the year, Tomlin, pressing all the right buttons. He ended the year with all the buttons being broke. Nothing worked. But Nick, to your Aaron Rodgers point, I'm 50-50 on that, because for 1 year to be good. But our problem is, when I watch football this weekend, I see Baltimore, I see Buffalo, I see Kansas City, I see the Commanders. Cincinnati had a bad defense, but you see what they all have in common? They have a fucking quarterback. They have a quarterback.
I think that got to be the route y'all got to. Y'all got to break
They
it down.
have a guy. They have a guy, not just a quarterback. They have a guy. Shout out to Jaden Daniels. We'll talk about that later. He is a guy. He's a dude. Those other teams have guys, and Aaron Rodgers will be a guy for a year, but what's the plan after that? Because that's how we got here. We had a guy who got hurt, and
you guys will never take the punt year. You guys aren't going to take that painful 3-win season.
So no. The flip side, tell Russell Wilson and his family to get the fuck out of the city. And whether good or bad, you see what Justin Fields is.
And that's the goal. I mean, like I said, I grant Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams would be great. They'd probably be made.
Yeah.
That's
the next present on Christmas. Yeah, the next present on Christmas.
Yeah, but
by next Christmas,
if you're talking about if you're talking about the bigger picture for the franchise, they got to break it down. Like you said, they scared they had losing season, but Justin Fields would be the way to go. Give him a 1 year, 2 year shot. And tell him, like, it could be your job or it can't be. I mean,
give him a shot. But Nick, to your point. And you've heard Tomlin say this about Chase Young. Hey, we ain't never going to lose enough games to get a guy like you. Well.
And even he was wrong about him.
He was wrong about him, right? Ironic. That's the fucking problem right there, man. But starts with Rooney. You got to pay people. You got to pay coordinators that know what the hell they doing. Like, I always bring up Pep Hamilton, right? He's not going to pay him. We're not going to pay a guy like him. Arthur Smith came at a price because of how bad he was in Atlanta. It starts there, man. But at least you got to take some power away from him, Tomlin. You got to take some power away from him. He can't be so involved in each game plan. The only game plan that he ain't that involved in is special teams. That's our best fucking unit.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely his decision making, but a lot of it is his decision making. But you gotta give 20-30%. Is these don't got the horses. That roster is trash. I mean, and you gave Omar Khan a lot of credit, and he should have, but that roster is bad. One injury at each level. One.
Yeah, I always spoke of it. Yeah. I said that the week before we played y'all the second time. Oh, injury anywhere debilitates us on any side of the ball, and I see guys step in. And just is really the next man up mentality on any other team. That speaks to coaching, development.
To your point, Nick. We without Zay, we was able to adapt. You know, we just got to keep moving. They lost George, and they didn't know what the hell was going on. They didn't know what the hell. You know, they lose TJ. Their defense pretty much.
And everything shouldn't be so concentrated in one player.
On one player, that's the thing.
You have one above average playmaker, then everybody else. You know, and Jaylen Warren, if he's a part-time playmaker, right? You don't use him. You don't utilize him as much as you would a George Pickens. So you can't even really count him. But on offense, I mean, you look on the rest of the side of the field, like who's there that scares defenses?
Yo, and you know what's crazy, and he don't scare nobody. But I was tired the last 3 weeks of Mike Williams making a big play, and then you never saw him again.
I mean,
like if he's gonna be the guy.
That
route that he won, that was the best route scheme I seen Arthur run all year. He schemed him open, right? And then he just runs immediately to the sideline and you never see him again. Why don't you do it again? Do it again.
I like Calvin Austin, like his spirit as a player, but he's
he's a dog. He's tough. He was our toughest player on either side of the ball in that game. He's scrappy. He's getting in Roquan Smith's face. I like that shit. It was a playoff game, dog. It's the Ravens. He was the only one that showed some hearts for fight. I don't know what Chris Boswell fight was, but he's my guy. Like, yo, it was bad, dog. It was bad. But this offseason, like I said, it's going to be a lot of questions that need answering.
Y'all going to bring back Russ 2 years, 30.
He's already – y'all see the way he talking?
I just love Pittsburgh. I mean, I just believe black and gold, and you know, I would just really love to be. I still have a lot to offer the game.
He's already talking about
bring back Russ. Y'all can go 10-7 again. That's the the ceiling is 10-7. Y'all might be 9-8.
That's my thing.
Russ is done, man. Like
Russ,
like I said, he got the moon ball. That he can literally just throw the moon ball. He can't do nothing.
You know how easy it is to defend the team. You know they're not going to use the middle of the field. Is literally in basketball terms a layup or a three. Line of scrimmage, 3 ball. That's it. you don't have to worry about the middle of the field. And it hasn't been that way for how long now? Especially since we've been doing this show.
Yeah, because
4
Kenny didn't
years.
throw the ball over the middle field either, did he?
Who, Russ? No, he can't. Can't
No,
see.
Kenny. Did
No,
Kenny
Kenny,
throw the ball
no. No. Last year, it wasn't schemed until he started calling his own plays, and that's when you saw it. I'm just tired of this offense looking its best.
I need to bring in Ben as offensive coordinator.
Yo, dog, I've thought about that. I've thought about that.
Since y'all so loyal and family oriented, like
I've thought about that. What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen bringing him in? At least bring him in.
He come in with a resume.
At least bring him in. You saw what he could call on his own, right? At least bring him in and give him, situations and what he would do and what he would scheme up, how he would use George. If you draft a wide receiver, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
Because when you look up and you got Lamar and Burrow in your division and they in the prime of their careers,
it's 15 more years of both of them.
You gotta do something. You
gotta fight back.
You gotta do something.
Take the punt, Sko.
Y'all joked. When did I say take the punt? Yeah, I said that shit 2 years ago.
You got to. Tomlin cared about us.
But the thing is, too much, man. Whenever I say it, this motherfucker Tomlin will win 4 in a row, and now I gotta be like, damn. All right, is this what we on now? Cool. It ain't. It's gotta be take a punt year, or get the draft pick by getting him out of here.
The draft class. When is Archie's draft class?
Next year. I don't know where he's going. I
think Archie's gonna be a bum, dog. I think Archie. He might bat his pretty.
So I'm saying, if y'all tank next year, could y'all get?
Yeah.
Justin, come on down. Come be my starter.
Yeah,
we'll win 5 games.
Yo, dog. You either get a high draft pick or you find out that Justin learned and he's your guy.
Or the flip side is he's your guy.
He's your guy, and he's 26, 27.
1 year,
and he plays the game how it's being played in 2025.
And you guys are cheap. Like they were talking about Russell getting $30 million a year. Now, if you do a Justin Fields 1 year, $17 million deal, give him
we're going ahead of cap.
Low end starter.
Yeah, we're going ahead of cap. I think we can get up to 80 with cuts with minimal dead money. Like Larry Ogunjobi. You gotta go. What the fuck were you doing? $15 million. It's a lot. We got 24 free agents. I'll bring back maybe 2. Rest of y'all? Nah. You save money with Dan Moore. You save money everywhere. So money is not going to be an issue. So
listen,
it's got to be something.
TJ Watt, if you're listening,
nah, don't do it.
They're wasting your career.
I mean, they are.
You seen what Baltimore has to offer. See what the winning side looks like. You see what a great defense looks like, because y'all soft now. Y'all not even a great defense anymore.
Nah.
I don't even know. That wasn't Steelers defense. Like Joey Porter and Palomalu, all those greats was just looking at it like, man, this ain't our ilk. This ain't our ilk. Ryan Clark.
You think Ryan Clark will let Derrick Henry run for 44 yards without at least trying to kill himself, trying to kill him?
Ryan Shazier said, I ain't get injured for this. Like, not to see this.
That's really, we ain't replaced him yet.
Yeah,
we haven't replaced him yet. Patrick Queen, you had an up and down year for the first free agent.
We didn't even bring up Patrick Queen. Yeah, he quit.
Your boy quit. Yo, how y'all feel about that report? How y'all feel about that report of him having the flu? I ain't like that.
I think he's lying, but that's me.
Yeah, I ain't like that.
Did you see him give up on the play? Like,
I remember I told you he was jogging. He was one of the. I said, yo, he's jogging. He's not even running.
Derrick Henry at the 15-yard line, he stopped running.
Yeah, it was bad, man. The effort just was not there from 5 or 6 of the guys on defense. You're not gonna win like that, dog. It's a lot of things that's got to change. Every position coach will get fired. Every single fucking one.
I know he.
Every single one.
I know he felt crazy being on Russell Wilson's side as opposed to Lamar's side.
Well, it's only so crazy he could feel because y'all didn't want him. So in that case, y'all didn't offer. It's not like
we see why you ain't proved us wrong. Yeah, no. Quitter.
Yeah, it's not like y'all offered him something. He said, "Nah, I'm leaving." Y'all didn't offer him something. So, I mean,
wonder why.
Yeah, that was bad, man.
Well,
I don't,
tell me how the food is in Cancun.
dog. I'm not eating. I'm here to rob niggas.
Oh
I'm
shit!
not eating. I'm robbing niggas. Robbing niggas. You know what I mean?
You wild.
I don't like being here, dog. I'm tired of this shit. Tired of this shit. You know what make it worse? I bring up my
Beautiful
health issues.
sunset.
I bring up my health issues all the time. You know that loss last year really didn't bother me because I was fighting for my life. I was home healthy as fuck watching this. Like, yo, ew, effort. It's bad. It's just bad. Stinks. Let's get to the rest of the games, man.